Over here in the corner. I know. What's taking so long? Surprise!
Thank you very much. That's right. Birthday party in my butt. Where's your cookies?
He thought I was going to your house at the front porch.
Mr. Paul Boyd.
Yes.
Welcome to the roast.
How you doing?
I'm not ready. Dang it.
I saw your picture.
Oh, what can I get you? Nice
So I kept saying different things. Thank you, Richard. So, appreciate it, man.
Are you surprised? But it needs internet to so I don't know about the internet.
When you start, Jeff said it.
Officially, the orders start on February first. So I've got some things that are giving me a January.
And I'll tell you what,
It's like 4 people shell. It's like making 3 beers.
It's not bad. It takes you about an hour and a half to drink it.
It's a sipping beer. It doesn't grow like that. It doesn't grow like that. It's a sipping beer. Right. These drinks.
Check real quick if anybody can hear me, raise your hand.
I can hear you.
The microphones, it's really not coming up any more than this. Are you guys really not able to hear me? Well, it will affect some of the jokes, but it is what it is. Well, welcome. Thank you guys for coming. This is the official roast of Paul Boyd. So we're at the end of a 16-year elected career right now, and Paul has given us plenty of material. So there's quite a bit that we've wanted to get off our chest, but we love you, Paul, and just take everything in stride tonight, okay?
Yeah. I'll be in a good mood. There's no trial tomorrow.
It's not mine. All right. But truthfully, everybody who knows Paul understands the second and third orders of effect. Everything has got its second and third orders of effect. It's how he's taught us. It's how he's trained us to do the people's business. It's been one of the privileges of my career to learn from him. But while he's busy helping us out, this man has second and third orders of effect happening in his life everywhere. To date, Paul Boyd is responsible for nearly 50,000 cases prosecuted, nearly 90 jury trials, thousands upon thousands of criminal convictions, and the respect of the legal and military community in almost every part of this state. Paul has stared down the faces of evil in Ron Sherrod, Clayton County, Stevie Light, and others. So that alone is... Paul has served his military and has served his country and his state with distinction, so his military introduction needs no introduction. But a tribute to Paul's character for civilian leadership is demonstrated by those people he's leaving behind. Those who have learned from Paul have gone on to include 4 elected prosecutors, 2 judges, an assistant United States attorney, countless solo practitioners, and many more, only half of whom aren't that bad to be around. The reach of Paul's influence will affect generations not only in southeast Missouri, but throughout this state and central United States as we know it. You've done so much for us, so we want to do some stuff for you tonight. So Paul, if you would, take your seat. You have a crown. We prefer you wear it.
Cole on it. Good to be the king.
Alright, so you've never watched roasts or anything like that. Typically they drink from a very own chalice, and guess what? Party City has one. So
That's good.
This would be a semi-clause. It's only 14%, but it's all right.
That's all right.
don't tell that joke for me, Paul.
Don't worry.
Alright, so truthfully, we love you, Paul, but campaigning with you has just been a joy. Well, not my campaigning with you, I'm not allowed to do that, but I hear from other people. People love campaigning with you so much that, like Donna, they'll break their foot to keep doing it. But really, though, I was kind of scared that Paul was going to figure out what we were doing tonight. He may have heard a couple things here and there about there was a party, but he had no clue that there was a roast. And when you're talking to 150 people, odds are it's going to get back to him. He is a prosecutor. But no, he did not know that this is happening tonight. So thank God he's going into intelligence work for a military. You call that a clue. All right, but truthfully, if I like a little segment called "You Know Your Paul Boyd If." Okay, so these are some of my favorites. They're quick, they're fun, but I love them. So I'll start off with an easy cheap shot. If you drive Toyota products and refuse to upgrade, no matter how badly your wife wants the new Expedition, you might be Paul Boyd. If you find yourself arguing with other people and you're losing that argument, and you justify it by saying, you just have to consider the second and third orders of effect. You might be Paul Boyd. Now, I think everybody in this room can relate to this. If you've ever picked up a phone call from a man saying, "What are you doing?" We're probably talking to Paul Boyd. Now, this is a little office joke, but if you ever come across a scraped up leather chair, you're saying somebody must have worn Kiss Me jeans on those. For those of you who don't know, Miss Me jeans are bedazzled jeans. They've got rhinestones, but to Paul, they are Kiss Me jeans. Anything that looks shiny. All right, so you have to excuse my language a little bit, but this is really how it went down. If the entire third floor of the courthouse smells like shit, right? So if it smells like crap, literally, and it does for about a week, and strangely you've been missing a protein shaker for about that same number of days, you might be Paul Boyd. There's a story to that, and really it doesn't deserve telling again. So. But no, Paul loves his protein shakes. He loves his protein bars, and he sure as hell loves his Diet Coke. If he could combine all three into a power snack, I think he would, but it would probably explode. If nobody in your office can find anything on your desk, but you know where every piece of paper is, you might be Paul Boyd. But speaking of his desk, Paul has a funny sense of humor. He really does, because when he's deployed 10,000 miles away, he still finds a way to prank his staff on his desk at home. I'm walking into his office one day, and I'm moving some stuff around, and by God, I pick up a grenade, and it shocks me.
It's a shocker, that's it.
Yeah. You're Paul Boyd if when you're deployed overseas, you miss your work family, and your dogs, in that order. But truthfully, you're Paul Boyd if you've ever shared a sucker with a puppy. Our dog. Yeah. But we all know and we love that Paul is cheap sometimes, right? So, very much so. So much so that he hired an investigator with the same name to save on stationery. But truthfully, the boys are very generous, very generous. Everybody knows their Christmas cookies every year, and you're Paul Boyd if the phrase Christmas cookies makes you want to drop everything and run. But definitely not up the stairs, because you're Paul Boyd if you take the elevator when nobody else is looking. The man is seen taking the stairs, but when he doesn't, nobody surrounds him. We also know that Paul Boyd is kind of a nerd, and he'll own it, his family will, his friends know him best for it. So much so that when the Roman god Thor is included in most of your passwords, you know that that's Paul Boyd. Now, interestingly, I'm getting a nod because you're Paul Boyd if you know the technical mistake I just made in that. It's not a Roman god, and he knows that. It's a Norse god, so you might be Paul Boyd.
I'll give it to you.
But truthfully, Paul is a man who proves his man card with the alcohol content of his beer, as we've seen. So much so that a 2 a.m. phone call back home to my girlfriend from the prosecutor's office, Paul Boyd leans in and says, "Is X drinking weak ass shit?" Folks, I was drinking grain alcohol. Paul's beer will do that to you. And finally, this one, I'm glad there's no children in the room, but you're Paul Boyd if you've made up a word for the way a room smells after sex and feel inclined to tell everybody else about it.
That was Aunt Juanita, and that's Packy Pokey. The smell of sex in the room, according to Aunt Juanita. Bless her heart, she's not here.
But truthfully, it's all fun. done. Paul is a selfless man with a servant's heart, and it's been a privilege to call him a boss, a mentor, and now a friend. So give it up, Paul. All right, now Cindy Lambert is going to come up and dazzle us with her tales.
No. This is short and sweet to the point. Okay, good. I'm going to say it first. Good. First off, I want to say to Zach and Taylor, thank you all so much for this evening. This was very good. Okay, to you, my boss. I'm not going to roast you, but what I want to do is say thank you. I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this journey. Thank you for making this not only a job, but a family. I have met and found another family with wonderful people. You also made this a learning experience for me, but by not just being a do-as-I-say kind of boss, but always explaining why, and then letting me question you. If I didn't, I didn't always like the answer, but he did say it's okay. But his thing was always, does that make sense? He would explain and explain, does that make sense? So I want to thank you for being a teacher of the law. Thank you for your service to our country. I feel much safer with you defending us. And thank you for your service to our Scott County. I got to see your love and dedication to making our county a safe place and to live. And now, well, I will miss you. This is not goodbye, but see you later.
Great.
Right?
All right, so a former employee of Paul, a former assistant, and now elected prosecutor in Bollinger County, is itching to get here tonight to let Paul know how he truly feels deep down inside. So Heath Robbins, if you would.
Can everybody hear me?
Hear me now.
Set a timer real quick because he said 5 minutes, right, Zach? I'll start talking here when the 5-minute mark goes.
Ready?
On your mark, get set, go.
Got to.
We're just at 14 seconds right now, so. You got anything to drink?
Paul does.
You stole my comment about the Santa Claus beer. I was going to bring it up. I actually got hammered with one of those. One of those. I didn't know they made anything that stout, but I guess I'm glad you gave me that opportunity to try it, but I don't ever want one of those. Again, my name's Heath Robbins. I'll just give you a little bit of background on where I come from. I'm from Stoddard County, Advance area. Got to know Paul through working for our Honorable Judge David Dolan as an intern after law school. Got to see Paul come in and out of the office. Usually say quip to me on his way into Judge Dolan's office. And normally it had something to do with, so you're really all about money. And I guess somewhere, somehow, I told him I wanted to be a civil practitioner, which, you know, back in the day when you go to law school, you think, you know, these pipe dreams may come true. But I listened to Paul, of course, and decided to go into the criminal realm, actually taking my first job with Paul as an assistant. That gave me enough gumption to go and run for prosecutor in my county, and then I found out that it wasn't about money. Are those cameras running by chance? Anybody from the press here? You gotta tell me if you are. Okay.
Well,
So with that said, Paul, I really don't have anything bad to say. Efforts, I mean, I've learned a lot from you. There's some things that you do that I don't do on purpose, but I don't really know. lot of times that I've been in a pickle, in my county, and I'd have to reach out. Paul's always been available for that, and I appreciate that, Paul. You've always helped me out, and I won't ever forget that. And then I've also tried to kind of pass that along to people that ask me questions, realizing that, hey, they may have been in the same shoes that I'm in, So I appreciate that, and like I said, most of the stuff that I've learned I do implement, but there's probably, I would say, 35% that I don't. So since we talked about the roots and how I got here, that's really the only notes that I made. Wait, shit, this is the wrong thing. Well, Zach, it's not going to be 5 minutes, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Just kidding. But again, I really don't have anything bad to say, Paul. You're a great guy. I'm going to consider you a lifelong friend. We've had some good times at the prosecutor conferences, along with some of you here in the room. I've learned both aspects of being, a part-time prosecutor, and also respecting those who are in it full-time and have to do with it daily, such as Darren back here. And of course, my tenure is going to be ending on the 31st of December, and I'm going to move on and do other things, but I'll still be using my law license, so if anybody has any questions in Willinger County or Stark County, come by and see me. I'll leave an office number for y'all. But Paul, again, I appreciate it. Donna, I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys for putting this together and asking me to be a part of it. It was an honor to come in and talk to people. And I've always enjoyed Scott County, coming over and working with the folks here. We've got a good team, and no matter what happens after the 31st, y'all are still going to be a team, and look forward to catching up with each and every one of you down the road. And if you have my cell phone, give me a call. Even if you just want to chit chat, I'll be glad to do so. That's all I have. No questions, comments, or sarcastic remarks. I'm on the way.
Joey.
So I think he did leave his number up here when he signed the rules. All right, so next up is Dina Mills. I think she's got a couple words she wants to say.
I hope so. Turn his chair around so he can see them talking a little bit. Kind of set it straight.
Turn you
Set him straight. Yeah, set him straight. Just set him straight.
There you go. There you go.
There.
There you go, buddy. I feel like I'm in a class.
But he needs to film out there.
That's okay.
Or you come around here to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got
You peasant.
Is it on? Can you hear me?
Yep.
This soothing, sexy, hippie voice. I'm Dina Mills. I'm one of the secretaries in the office with Paul.
You're the baby.
I am the baby of the office. Where I'm going, I will no longer be the baby of the office, but the old lady. So I'm going to set this up as long as I can. My journey started on June 6th of 2006. Think about that. 666. What the hell was I thinking? What the hell was I thinking? 666. Who the hell starts their job on 666? But I did. I should have ran. I should have ran and never looked back. But if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here today. And for that, I'm a hell of a lot better person. But 666, yes, Paul Boy did bring me in on 666. I had no idea at that time how much my life would change. Paul has educated me on the law, on criminal matters, on statutes, on documents, on anything I needed to know in order to do my job. And for that, I thank you very much. It's going to allow me to continue to work in law just on the other side of the tracks. But yes, I'm going to be able to continue to do that. First day I was there, Paul is walking me around the courthouse, showing me different offices and introducing me to the other elected officials. And we got in Judge Dolan's courtroom. And I said, is there something you need to tell me? She said, no, why? I said, well, at the time, his support staff sucked. They were not nice people. Paula lied to me. I figured out on my own that Paula did not tell me the truth. I know now it's because she wanted me to stay. And I did figure things out really, really quick. And because of that, we were able to bond early on. And we got the job done. We got the office cleaned up and got the job done. Paul not only has educated me on law, but other things I didn't know that I didn't know. Zach hit on it. Acupookie is a smell. Acupookie smells. I did not know this. I have led a sheltered freaking life. I had no idea that smell had a word. It's acupookie. If you don't take anything away tonight other than this, you're blessed. Acupookie. I need to know. Does anybody know what these are? Everybody see them?
Yeah.
Have any idea what these are in Paul Boyd world?
Breakfast of Champions.
Fat pills. These are fat pills. Leave them alone. Do you know in the criminal world what pigs and dogs are?
No.
They are defendants. Pigs and dogs. I learned that the first day I was there. Not only did we practice criminal law in our office and had a hell of a good time some days, because we were smoking crack every freaking day. Paul Boyd smokes crack every damn day that he walked into the office.
What else to do?
And he smoked crack pretty damn good. Now, Paul Boyd is a worldly man and he knows a lot of things. Just recently, I heard him have a discussion with a young man about him not fathering a daughter. Paul's got a suggestion for this. He wants a daughter. You tell your sperm to swim freaking faster. Swim faster. You're gonna get a girl. Anybody want girls? Yell at it. That's how you get them. I'm educated because of Paul Boyd. But I got to say, I never once heard Steve Mills yell, swim fast. For that, we're blessed. The other thing I learned from Paul Boyd is that he likes some French fried taters better than Sling Blade. He says it better than Sling Blade. And I hope the more he drinks that beer, he gets up here and says, French fried taters. We have heard that for freaking years. This is the freaking devil. I learned this from Paul Boyd. If you do not wash this son of a bitch out, and you leave it hid in the office
For 6 months.
forever, we go looking for dead rats. This is the devil. If only he had taken this to Kuwait with him, everybody would have left him alone. The other thing I learned in the PA office, not from Paul, but as part of this family, If I can't give you a These are sticky eyeballs. They do not come off the ceiling. They stay. They stay. That's a bitch will never come off.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I got plenty. The other thing I really enjoy doing is that.
Go on the bread.
We threw the bread. That stuff has been around since November 6th. It is not moldy. It's not moldy. And we got that from
Throws it everybody that walks.
that comes from NK. NK sells that bread. That's good bread.
We're learning.
But lastly, on a more serious note, I want to thank you for giving me a chance on 666. I didn't have anything to bring to the table. All I asked is that you gave me a chance, and you did. And because of that opportunity, I found myself. I found where I belonged. I found out who I needed to be in life. I figured out what I was doing wrong. And for that, I'm very grateful. I learned that we stood together every day. We stood together. We never backed down. We didn't stand alone. And I also learned that you never say goodbye. You say, see you later. Hey, Donna, can you come up?
You're like falling.
Mr. Boyd, you can put it, whatever else you want on it,
Okay.
but you hang on to that. And thank you too, Miss Donna. And I'm not worried. I like to talk. Hey, Taylor. It's not Christmas until this thing comes out.
Oh my God.
Merry
That's
Christmas.
another one.
Okay.
It's real, damn it. And nobody's gonna take it away from me. It's an eggplant. No, it was a bad deal. I'm not ever gonna live
It
that
was
again.
bad for me. It
I'm
wasn't
not
bad for
ever
you.
gonna do it again.
She stole my eggplant.
Oh my God, that was that ornament.
Hey, Zach, can you come up? I got a little something for you. And thank you for bearing with me. This isn't a roast, but we're family. I brag a lot. My last two bosses now have gone on to be judges. I'm good like that. I did that. Not Paula, not Sammy, I did it. I did. His resume says Dina did it. But what people don't know about Judge Horak is he second guesses himself a lot. But he's a hell of a guy. He's a hell of a guy. In Scott County. And even though we're not going to be around on a daily basis anymore, I want you to keep part of me with you, always. You want to read it?
Doing what is right isn't always comfortable.
That's what I told him early on. You keep it in your pocket and remember always, you got it. I got one more with my sisters. Come up, please. You know, come on.
Woo!
glad I didn't put my heels on.
We have raised our kids. We have started our grandchildren together. We have fought. We have laughed.
Hey, we put up dividers.
We have hugged it out. But we've always had each other's back. Always. Always. I can't imagine this next journey without these guys. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. And Franklin, I've told some of you before, the job that I've accepted, Paula should be doing it, not me. She needs to do it. She's the one that's, she's a badass. She knows what she's doing. But I'm grateful, and I love these two very much. And this is how much we're alike.
You guys.
I'm afraid. Open that up. Well, see, you need me.
Well, I do, open it. Oh. Oh my God.
You know what's funny? All of these are Christmas gift for us, before we broke on Christmas. And it was a friend's picture with one of these pictures, or a friend's frame with one of these pictures in it. And so I opened it up in the office and Cindy said, I did the same thing. Damn it, bitches, I did too.
You did, I did.
See? We have not only raised our kids together, we have gone through menopause, we've had our hot flashes, we talk about people the same way. But I'm gonna tell you what, I wouldn't want to go through hellfire without them. I love you guys very much. And thank you, Paul, for putting this all together.
Yes, sir. We should.
All right, now to charm us all, Mr. Darren Can, Mississippi County Prosecutor.
I really just came up here to make damn sure I got my knife back. Paul Boyd. I met Paul Boyd when I was an intern for Jennifer Rafferty at the Mississippi County Prosecutor's Office. And because I met that man, it ruined my incentive to find a job because he hired me. That's who taught me to keep my desk in such great order that it's in. I learned from the best. I keep a knife in each boot. He keeps one in his pocket. Hey, great minds think alike. The only complaint that I can think about Paul Boyd is where the hell did you learn to write? I learned from Paul Boyd. We spent months trying to decipher what he had written on the files, and then we learned he was a believer. So, but Paul, I want to thank you for your service. I thank you for keeping me safe. I sleep sound at night, knowing you're in the position that you're in, and I wish you the best of luck. And I signed Paul and myself up for some writing lessons, so we'll have.
But we can give it to Mr. Lisa.
There's mixed company and I can't do it.
Okay.
But on a side note, he did make me share an office with Dana Weiss. Thank you very much. Thanks, Paul.
Love your heart.
All right, Mr. Dan Armour.
Wow. That was wonderful. Just beautiful tonight. I'll tell you, I'll go back with Paul. quite a few years. He was a young whippersnapper, assistant prosecutor. And I've been, when Paul come on board, I'd worked plain clothes for about 10 years. I've been on the street as a police lieutenant for about another 10. And I remember the first time I had the opportunity to talk to Paul. I believe it was about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. We had a shooting or a knifing or something similar to that down on the west end. And I was a shift commander. Everybody was busy. We finally come in, and I gave Paul a call. You probably don't remember it. I didn't know who Paul Boyd was. Who in the hell is Paul Boyd? And so I got to talking to Paul and trying to give him some preliminaries on the case. And I tried not to call him at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I tried to wait till about 6 or so, or 7, where they could get a good night's rest. But anyway, I got to talking to Paul. And I go, here we go. Another young assistant prosecutor, wet behind the ears. And I'm talking to him at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting nowhere. Oh, was I wrong. Paul was very respectful on the phone, and I enjoyed talking to him, but I go, here we go again. Through the years, I've had the opportunity to work with Paul on many cases. Paul is a very dedicated, hardworking, wonderful, wholesome man, honest man. And he's served the prosecutor's office as good as anybody's ever served that office in my whole tenure. And I spent 33 years working for public safety, from the ground level all the way up to captain. And what a joy, Paul. Through the years, I just gained more respect for Paul over and over, and his staff. And you know, I was sitting down today, and I was talking to my wife, and I said, what am I going to say about Paul? Because this is supposed to be a roast. It's not supposed to be something in which it's all about work. But it's hard to talk about Paul without talking about work, because he is the senior Boy Scout. You know, my wife says I'm the Boy Scout, but I'll tell you what, it's a hard race with Paul. But like I said, talking to Sandra, and I'm a little out of place anymore. I don't talk much in front of people, but I used to like it. But Paul, because of you, we have a safer and better community. Paul, because of you, we have a safer learning atmosphere in our school zones, in our schools. Paul, because of you, we have a safer Scott County. And Paul, because of your legal military expertise, soldiers are better prepared for mobilizations and deployments abroad and in combat zones. Paul, because of you, senior commanders are better prepared in their planning. Paul, because of you, soldiers and dependents, welfare and care are importantly enhanced. These are some notes that I put down, and Sandra says, oh, don't do that. Well, you can't talk about Paul without talking about what he's done for our communities in Scott County and adjacent counties and the state. And you can't talk about Paul unless you talk about his military. A man that's done 2 deployments, and in those deployments, his job is generally advising commanders of what holes not to step in. So, anyway, Paul, good luck, best of luck, and we appreciate everything you've done for us.
He's trying to get you drunk.
Is that all?
There you go.
That's good stuff.
We got more.
All right, now, my better half, Ms. Taylor Walls.
Keep it clean.
He knows it early on.
Okay, so I really didn't plan on talking tonight, so bear with me. 50 people, oh wait, let's get Paul.
Yeah, let's get him.
Shut up.
Mixing the brother with.
I wouldn't mix that.
Paul, it's okay. It's okay, teacher.
Pour it in there.
Hey, do it.
Pour it in here.
Do it.
Don't say the place.
I wouldn't do that.
My brother Theolonius.
Lonnie's.
All right, now we got 20%. All right,
So I hadn't worked for Paul long, unfortunately. Half of the time I worked for Paul, he was deployed. But don't get me wrong, we still talk to Paul weekly because he made sure to FaceTime in, and Paul would run down on the phone to tell us stuff that Paul wants us to know. But I remember distinctly the first time I met Paul Boyd. I was a social worker at Boot Hill Counseling, eager to get out of that hellhole. And so I went in to interview. Of course, I'm 15 minutes early. It's what you're supposed to do, right? So I get there, and I'm in the law library, and he walks in, and I remember one, Cynthia Dina, saying, hey, yeah, so-and-so is here for like your interview. And he's like, she's early, her she can wait. I'm like, oh God. So Paul and Paul had come into the interview, and we talk, and it went great. And of course, he asked what I do, so I tell him like, yeah, so I go see severely mental ill people alone in their homes, and he goes, oh, where's your gun? And instantly, I'm like, okay, you are my father. That is exactly what he would say weekly, Taylor. Where's your gun? So I'm like, okay. So I leave the interview. About an hour later, I get a call from Paul saying, how do you feel about dressing up as a dog for Halloween? And he's like, yeah, so this is contingent on your employment.
It was near Halloween.
Yeah, so it was the end of October, and we were 101 Dalmatians, and Paul was our dog catcher. So me dressing up as a dog was contingent on my employment. I'll let you know I did not dress up, and thankfully I still kept my job. So he was like, yes, I'm gonna need you to quit your job today. I need you to put in your leave today because I'm needing you to go to this training in 3 weeks. I'm like, oh my God. So it's 4 o'clock, and I had to do it. Whatever, I made it. So within 3 weeks, I'm like, I'm really gonna have to watch my damn mouth. I'm gonna have to quit cussing because in social work we cuss a lot. So I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this. I gotta stop. So my first day with Paul, I remember distinctly. This was a few weeks before our last Ron Sherrod trial. And Paul gives me this file. I spent a half day at the office before I left for training, and Paul says, excuse my language, since I can't legally fucking kill him myself, we gotta win this. So he said, yes, sir.
And we did.
So we were, yes. And in May, we got 40 years. Counts, we got 60 years in May. Woo-woo. And Sherrod, 40 years. Oh, his DOC photo. If you're ever having a bad day, just look on Missouri Department of Corrections Inmate Church, Ronald Sherrod. It will make your day. So, I do it frequently. So I remember whenever I interviewed with Paul, he's telling for half the time that I would work for him and half the time that I would work for the prosecuting attorney in Mississippi County, Darren Can, he did not prepare me for what I would have to deal with that.
There's a lot of similarities.
I learned from the best.
But Paul doesn't punch his vehicle, whatever it drives, is what you're staring at.
Well, I know some of you know the story of how I got the job. I don't know if y'all know that Paul's a stalker. He stalked me for a year and a half. He stalked his wife. Later. I tried to file charges, but he wouldn't prosecute himself. I don't think anybody knows about his dark past, of course, like him being a stalker. I was working in a law firm and had been there for about 8 years, and I wanted to change. And the girl I worked with next in the office said, well, they have a position open. Her daughter worked there at the Scott County, at the prosecutor's office. So I filled it out, typed it up, and sent it off. And real shortly, one evening I get a call. I'm laying on the couch and he goes, oh boy, what are you doing? What is this? Oh boy, what are you doing? And I still didn't know what he said, and I just said, I'm not doing anything. He goes, well, I got your resume here, and then I hit me who he was. And I thought, man, he's a freak. This ain't gonna work. And he started talking to me about salary and all that, and I said, well, no, I can't do it for that. He was on a budget, and he said, well, I really could use you, and I said, well, I just can't do it. So he said, okay. So then about a week or so later, he pops up at the office, and I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna say something, I'm gonna lose my job. And he just stares at me, sitting over there waiting to be my boss. And I look at Kay and I go, he is nuts. I should never have filled that out. So he left, he never said anything, and I thought, phew, that was good. And, about a month or so went by, and he called again at work. Oh boy, what are you doing? I looked at Kay and I go, damn. He is crazy. And I got off the phone, I said, God, I'm so glad I know what he's like, because I can't do this. There's no way, he's crazy. So, he called me again. He called me several times in a year and a half, and he said, we would talk about what it would take to get me. And I shot him a salary that he could not reach. So I was like in the safe zone. And it wasn't a big salary, you know Rita. So I thought there's no way, so I didn't have anything to worry about. I went up there to deliver something for my boss one day, and it was 8 o'clock, because they open at 8. Nobody was there. I waited till 8:30. And I seen all these boxes lined up on this wall, and I thought, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't take this job. I could never do this. This is weird up here. It's junky, scary, dark, nobody shows up. So, Martin Pregel was commissioner at the time, and it was December, and the boys were playing ball, and we were at the basketball tournament. And Martin comes right up and sits by me, and he goes, hey, you ready to go to work for Paul? And I go, what? He goes, you ready to go to work for Paul? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, we gave him what you wanted. And I go, oh. Oh, shit. Because my word, I'm not going to say no after that. And I got home and I go, Donnie, oh my God, what am I going to do? He's going to call me. I know he is. He don't give up. And sure enough, it wasn't 2 days. he calls me. I'm at home, answer the phone. Oh, boy, what are you doing? And he goes, you ready to talk? I go, yes, sir. Meet you at 7:30 tomorrow night. Just like that. And I thought, well, this is at night, the courthouse, and I'm with the crazy man. And I'm thinking, well, you know, he's a prosecutor, what could happen? But I get there, he waits for me at the front doors, lets me in, and we get in an elevator, and I'm like, this ain't good. But he's nice. Get upstairs, and it got better because when I walked, here come the dogs. His dog, Zeus, was it Zeus? It was the Apollo. He always names his dogs after gods. And his son Hayden, little bitty thing. Hayden, big now, but he's little. So I felt safe, and he took me back in his office, and I still did not want the job because this man had harassed me the whole year and a half. And we started talking, and I didn't really want it when I was first talking to him. And the more I talked to him, the more I realized I was fascinated with what he had to say. And I fought for it, for the interview at the very end. And I took it. I started work within 2 weeks, and the first day, I didn't pee all day. I didn't have time. I thought the people were crazy and this wasn't going to work. I get home and my mother and my husband sitting in the front room waiting for me, and I just zoom right past them and I go right to the bathroom. I zoom right back out and I said, I can't talk. I get me a glass and I pour me a big glass of wine. I take a few sips and I told my husband, I looked at him, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know. This ain't me. I can't do this. This is crazy, crazy stuff up here. But as the weeks went on, I learned a lot. Fascinating. We weeded out some of the bad we had up there working. Not really bad, but didn't quite understand professionalism. And we got a good crew in, and those two ladies right there. They were the heartbeat of the office. They made me want to come to work every day. They made me love my job, my family. They're my second family. I got to know Paul and Donna, and we became good friends. And he was very non-social. He always kept to himself because he didn't want to have to prosecute you. He didn't want to get to know you because he might have to prosecute you. But Donnie and I became good friends with them and got to know them pretty good. I've learned a lot working for him. He's a great teacher. He's a great boss and a friend. I will never forget my work experience. The people I have met and the people I work with, they are truly my second family. And as long as I've worked there, Donnie and I have become good friends with them, and we made the mistake of introducing them to my family.
Now I have people!
So now Donna is one of my mom's kids. I think she's trying to read out Robert. She tried Alan, but he's too far away and it wasn't working. So Robert's spot.
It's the best spot.
We are now considered her people, and the jury's still out whether Paul will accept Mom will accept Paul as a son. We're not sure. She's not made up her mind. I will tell you a little story. He is a thief too, by the way. Norma can.
Yeah.
I introduced him to my brother Richard and my sister-in-law Norma, and we had their first outing. We took him to St. Louis. We met him up there, and we went to Johnny's. And the three little guys were sitting up at the bar, and they were just eyeing the girls that were dressed with nothing on, down the Soulard. And it was in the afternoon, early afternoon, Norma goes to the bathroom. The three of us girls are sitting at a little bar stool by the window, and here comes Paul. And he's had a little bit to drink, and me and Donna are sober, are drivers, so we were sober. Norma leaves to go to the bathroom, and he comes over to just grabs her purse and throws in the forks, the knives, and the paper, the napkin holder, the ketchup, the salt, the paper, and puts it in her purse. And she has a little backpack. And then he walks away. Here she comes. Well, they have to leave. They're I forget where you all were going.
We were going to the boat.
That's right.
And the day that
Ferguson.
What was that guy's name that beat up, that got shot?
Oh, the Ferguson thing.
Ferguson.
Michael Brown.
And I'm driving a bunch of drunks home, and
I'm driving a drunk home.
and he calls.
Driving these drunks.
Yeah. And he calls and he goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, what we did.
And I said, "I'm driving." And he goes, I knew what he wanted. And I think I asked Norma that she's talking, and she if you know Norma when she's been drinking, she's just like this the whole time. And she looks in her purse and she goes, "Oh my God, I got a salt and pepper." And Paul's laughing on the other phone. I'm driving and holding the phone, and she goes, "I'm a thief." And he's a prosecutor. I'm gonna get picked up for stealing. Oh God, it was so funny. We had a great time with that. He loved doing that. We've also had outings, and I don't know if y'all know that Paul is a rapper. Yeah. He is. Believe it or not, he's a rapper.
That's the message.
From you. I'm holding it hostage. I'm not to be glad, but it could be. Just no. Inshallah. I will show you the package I've stolen. Cover it very closely. Look at that. Finish your package. I'll get incorporated. Motto. If it's not lost, it will be. Look, message, as I am holding it ransom from you on this special day. It says, oh, you read it, I can't. In English. I I am a stolen package. Get me to Donnie. Well, on this special day, from the Middle East, inshallah, rich old dudes who may or may not need a Tic Tac. Happy birthday, old dude. Bye. From the Middle East. I still have your
I stick pins in. If you want us down here, it will be 23 years at the end of February. We came down here and I cried the whole car ride home, back to Ashland. And then he cried when we told him we were moving him. And I said to him, excuse me, he's moving us to the asshole of the earth. We packed up the U-Haul, the cats, the dog. He made the cat ride in the back of the U-Haul. And the rental house we were renting, the lady got robbed the night before we got there. So the police were outside our front door most of the night, and I'm thinking, oh shit, this is what we got ourselves into, excuse my language. And then we started this journey together, and it's got me my family, the Gravitz, who know where we go, will always be my family.
We're your people.
I just have to say something you guys don't know is, monthly Paul would be driving down the road saying, I gotta call this Paula lady. And I'm like, who the fuck's this Paula? What are you doing? Paula lady. And I would be like, what the hell? I did not like her. I actually sent my best friend Betty up there to check out who the fuck that was. And she did his, Betty volunteered to do his filing cabinets to find out who the hell that was. Every month it was like clockwork. I gotta call her and let her know I'm still interested. Oh boy, what are you doing? Dude. And he did, he stalked her like a dog. Like a dog. I swear she didn't get a restraining order. Actually, it was probably.
I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm using my cheerleading voice here. You know, it's been 16 great years. Actually been 22 and a half great years. Been here in Scott County. Started as assistant prosecutor back in the day. And one thing I'll say this is you can't do anything without your family. Donna, Drew,
What?
and Hayden. I'm not going to trial tomorrow, so I won't be a real prick right now, okay? So that's just what happened. But to have the support of the family is everything. 'Cause I can't be the way they've taken a lot of daddy's not home, daddy's don't talk to him. They'd hide from me during trial times. But that's because I'd be in the zone. But I love that part of it. We're going to another stage. I wish it was different, but I can say to everyone in this room, I love you for your assistance and your help. Because without your assistance and help and your good vote, I wouldn't be where I was today. I wouldn't have been here 22 and a half years. It takes a team of people, a team of teams. I ain't going to talk military here. Sorry, Sergeant Major. But it is. I brought that to the thing of teaching. You've got to bring people together. You've got to teach them right. You've got to treat them right. And then you've got to teach other people to treat them right also. And there's also that time in the saying where you say, hey, you crossed it. I'm going to bitch slap you. And I'm sorry, I say the words, but that's what your job is as a PA. But as the future goes, I appreciate, love everybody. Gravitz, you've taken us in. I got good friends here, just Doan, Joe and Betty. I read to everybody, oh God, Ellie and Lisa. I mean, it's just
your child.
Well, my child. I know how to talk to him.
No, raise your child.
Oh, well, yeah, he's a man bear cub or something like that. Kristen's with this too. Kristen's a daughter-in-law. She's had to deal with this also. But it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. I appreciate everything you guys did tonight. This was a surprise. I will go to, you know, Floyd's 70th, birthday sometime 6 years from now. But it is. I mean, we did a hard job this summer. It didn't happen right when it was. I'm not going to say I'm right here. I'll probably tell you that, you know, I ran as a Democrat because that's what I've always been. I grew up as a John Kennedy Democrat, but that party's left. And basically, it's probably going to be Republican from here on out if there's anything that opens up. I'm just sorry. That's just how it is. Because that's more close to the heart, you know, Second Amendment and everything else, and God. We're missing that a lot in our schools. But that's another story. So, because what it is, it's what makes good people. And we can't have good people without good moral guys. But get off that. Let's have some fun tonight. Appreciate everybody being here. I mean, I could go around the room here. I also say, Don, I know Becky. I mean, you're the silent, kind of quiet people over here. But Don, you know, has been a good friend too down the road. And I also give that good guidance and advice also. But I've had it from everybody in this room. And all I can say is I take you to my heart. And I will tell you from this day till the day I die, I will serve and I will make wherever I go be better. And leave it better than you found it. And like I told you when you won the election, and by the way, thank God. Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Walk humbly. Walk humbly in life. And you'll draw people to yourselves and you'll be better. And I do sit the left hand of Jesus, by the way. It's okay. Which is not God.
Baby Jesus.
I had to get that to you. You didn't give me the baby Jesus thing out here, okay? But do that, and we'll all be better. But after that, with everybody else here, Prost is Prost German. Bang the table, get rid of the spirits. Drink one up. Thank you all very much.